There we are. Good day, welcome to another video, and today I'm making a good old, well, taking a British classic. I would say gammon, egg and chips, but what it actually is going to be, it's going to be ham, egg and chips. Maple, it's not quite gammon. I suppose we could slice it deeply, but we're going to do 1 kilo gammon. Cheap, they are cheap joints. We're going to, first of all, we're going to boil it. Now, when we're boiling gammon, we're going to go for, because we're roasting in the oven after, we're going to do 20 minutes per 500 grams plus 20 minutes. So these will take around an hour to cook through. Half of that hour will be, what will it be? Half of that hour will be simmered, and the other half will be in the oven. Not marinating, glazing it in the last sort of 15 minutes. So I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons peppercorns. We're just going to add some flavour into it, that's it. I've got some thingies there, peppercorns, and in there I've just going to put in half an onion. What else will we put in? Bay leaves. Some bay leaves. And they, to be fair, this is really simple to do. It's just time consuming at the start. And then we've got a couple of bay leaves in there. And last but not least, we're going to go for a finely simple carrot. I'm going to trim them off. A couple of carrots in there. I need one more carrot. So there's not a lot of actual prep work in this. Most of it is just on the hob. So there you go. I'm not going to put any salt in, obviously. Gammon, plenty of salt in there anyway. Cover that up, stick it on. We're going to boil that for half an hour. And that's my start of my gammon. Now, on top of that, because obviously we're having chips, we're going for chips, triple cooked potatoes, and we haven't got nice pipers, so we haven't make do with cheap white potatoes, but they do the job. So we're going to peel these, chip them, and then parboil them after the gammon, because obviously I need that big pan. What am I missing here? I'm missing something. Lots of, not enough room. So we're going to have potatoes, and first thing we're obviously going to do is peel them. And we usually starch potatoes, we're going to go for that crisp. Not so much starch in these, actually, to be fair. We're going to go for that crisp. And where we're going to do that, I'm not going to bother with corn flour. I mean, people put corn flour on, etc. Potato starch, we're not going to do that. We're just going to parboil them in heavily salted and heavily vinegared water until they just about begin to flake on the top. And then we're going to fry them at low heat. Until they start to turn. Take them out, drain them, dry them, cool them, and then when we are ready, we're going to fry them at a high heat until they are golden and crisp on the outside, and obviously nice, soft and fluffy, not greasy, on the inside. It seems a lot of work, and to be fair, it is a little bit more work than chewing obviously frozen chips, which we do have in the house. I do frozen chips. However, we are, it is worth the effort, particularly if you've got the time to do it. So, obviously as per usual, okay, if you are one of the 90% of viewers that aren't subscribed to my channel yet, please do hit that subscribe button. Leave me a comment below. Would you do anything different in this recipe? Would you add anything to it? Or, quite simply, what would you like to see me have a go at next? Come on, you know you want to. Hit that subscribe and hit that comment and like. Anyway, while I'm peeling, you nobody wants to watch me peel spuds for half an hour. So, while I do this, I'm going to tune out and come back when these are ready to chip. Okay, that's potatoes peeled, and all of a sudden I seem to have lost my knife. That's useful. There we go. So all I'm going to do now, I'm going to cut these into nice thick cut chips. Usually I'm going to half it and then wedge it like that. Nice, chunky. I'm going by eye here really. I'm trying to make sure that they're all similar and suitably sized. And hopefully that way we'll get a nice even cut. Doesn't matter if you're out there. Like I say, we're not perfectionists. We're just here cooking for flavour. And obviously, you know, you've seen me, if you hopefully have, seen I do have a recipe just for the triple cut chips. I'll try and link that. Oh God, that's dangerous. I'll try and link that in the chat description below. But again, if you're one of the 90% not viewing right now, sorry, not subscribed right now, please hit that subscribe button. Your subscription really does mean the world to me. Near done. So what we're going to do when this is done, we're just going to rinse them thoroughly, and then I'm going to stick them on to a boil later. I don't know why I'm doing this actually. I'm going a bit non-wedgy now, but here we go. Doesn't really matter. All chips are good as long as they're crunchy and crisp. That's all that matters. Chunky, crunchy, crispy. I think the worst part of cooking is honestly prep. Absolutely hate it. Cooking's not a problem. Prep, I absolutely detest. Sometimes it's quite painful, to be fair. Other times I just can't be bothered with doing all of it. But to be fair, you know, if you want to eat better, you want to eat, I'm going to say healthy, but obviously I'm doing deep fried chips. Slightly healthier than you would buying it all from frozen. So I think I've done that. See, I'm feeding, well, you'd think I was feeding 50, but I am feeding, oh, how many am I feeding time? 5. So I'm going to make sure there's a couple of big appetites in there. My son has the appetite of an adult and he's 4. Anybody else have a son like that? I had a weird ringing then, I couldn't figure out what it was. Right, dark meat chips done, really poorly, the last few. I'm going to rinse them out now. And then come back when I'm ready to boil them. And there we go, our potatoes. Yes, I can't even speak. My chips are now rinsed, they've been soaked for a while. That removes a lot of the starch. If I can open this out, we're going to put a generous, and I mean very generous, helping of salt. It's not even wide enough that. I'm going to have to. So about 2 to 3 tablespoons of salt. And then again, same with the vinegar. We're going to go for 2 to 3 tablespoons of vinegar. Maybe a bit more than 2 to 3. But you get the idea. Plenty of salt and vinegar in that. And they're going to be covered and put on to parboil for no more than 5 minutes. Okay, and here we've got the 2 gammon that's been boiling for half an hour. It don't look the best, but I promise you it's going to taste fantastic. What I'm going to do, I am just going to slice very carefully this thick layer of skin off. I'm going to try and keep the fat underneath. But yeah, this fat, I mean, I can eat it, but it's very chewy. If I do this, the fat will render nicely on top and soak up more of the what am I putting on it? The honey and mustard, that's it. And my knives are in desperate need. I mean desperate need. To the point I'll probably be sharpening it now after this. Generally speaking though, it's fairly easy to do. It comes off quite nicely. I might, well, probably give a little bit of it to the cat for a treat. You can eat it yourself if you wished. You can probably hear There you go, it doesn't actually need a knife. And there we go. That's done. I've just put that there because it's going to fall over if I don't do that. So the next stage is hit or miss if you're going to do this. Some people like them. I think they do add a bit of flavour. I do pull them out afterwards if I'm honest, but I'm just going to make some generous crisscross pattern. In a cack-handed way. And we're going to stud that with cloves. Yeah, so we're going to just stud between these, call them diamonds I suppose. Put a stud between them. This is probably the most annoying part of this. I don't enjoy doing it myself. I should have put black gloves on really. But oh well. So there we go. I'll come back when these are ready to go in the oven. Okay, these are done now. So what I'm going to do is cover them in a bit of foil. This can be then, I mean you can do this the night before. I often do. Just running short on time last night. So I'm going to cover these and at about, because they only take another half. I remember half the cooking time is in the oven. 20 minutes per 500 grams plus 20 minutes. Half it, that's your boiling time. Other half is for the oven time. But for the last 15 minutes, we're going to remove this foil and then put the glaze on. I'll come back when we've made the glaze and ready to glaze that lovely gammon. Okay, our chips are parboiled. There's a lot of them, I'm not going to stick them around. You could do fluff them up a bit, and I might do that in a bit. But however, they're going to steam dry for 5 minutes on my oil in the back pan over there. Preheats, and then yeah, it looks dirty. It's not dirty, there's just a few crumbs from the last chips in there. Yeah, so they're going to steam dry. I'll come back in about 8 minutes, do the first fry, dry them off, cool them, and then fry them at when we're ready to eat. And now it's time for my marinade for the last 15 minutes. Now I always do this by eye. It really is by eye. So I'm going to go about 100 mils or so of honey. A very generous tablespoon or so of whole grain mustard. And then the piece de resistance, as they call it, instead of Worcestershire sauce, Dorsetshire sauce. That just gives it a little bit of liquidity rather than being that thick. It stops that honey from completely burning over. Just going to rinse that over. And then all we're going to do, I'm going to hammer it now. Let's see if that's ready. In terms of chips, we've just sent one into thing. Go swimming. It's fine. We're ready to go for lots of chips to go swimming. Now we don't want to overcrowd this. Just going to put a handful in at a time, and we're going to fry them for about 5 minutes. And then we know it's ready when they start making. They'll make like a rustling sound against this, even though they're not fully cooked yet. I'll come back when that's the case. However, while we do that, let's get that. Ooh, that'll do. Get this out with my. Ooh. The last 15 minutes. Tasting good. Where are you? Oh, so instead what we'll do, I'm just going to pour it on actually. Okay, good old base. To be fair, it's only going to go 15 minutes. If it was a bigger joint and I needed more than one, I'd do maybe last 20 minutes and do 2 lots of 10. But as it is, this is only going to need another 10 minutes and it's done. There we go. So we can whack that in now uncovered. It's a horrible, horrible angle, I apologise for that. But that's uncovered, that's ready to go back in our oven. 200 degrees, uncovered for the last 15 minutes. Now, these are done. I'm going to try and, I don't know if you can hear that, there's a little bit of a rustle, there's a yellow tint to them, okay, when they begin to brown, and there is a slight rustle, so they're done. They're going to go on a kitchen towel to drain, and then while they dry off, we're going to put another handful of chips in to swim. Let's go swimming with the chickies. Oh, there's one gone, I've lost one. There we are. So we're not, like I said, patience is key here. The more room your chips have, the better that crisp is going to be. So while they next lot fry, we're going to do dry the first lot, then transfer them to a container where they'll be chilled until ready later. You can always do, I do tend to do this the night before. So you can do these steps the night before and then go. My oil's getting old, so that's why it's frothing up like that. I need a change of oil, but that's fine. I'll be back when we're ready for the next cook. So a little bit caramelising that. That is what usually happens. I'm going to take that off. Excuse me, taste a small bit. I'm going to take that off. Take out these little cloves and show you a finished product. And there you go. I'm probably going to, well, excuse the pun, butcher the slice, but I have sharpened my knife. Oh, that's gone. Oops. It's just fallen off the side. That's fine. It's there. And cuts. Absolutely. Make it quite big. So there you go. A beautiful honey and mustard gammon. Perfect for a roast, main meal with egg and chips on a sandwich, or however way you want it. Please hit that subscribe button if you want to see more recipes and leave me a comment below. What would you do differently? And there go our chips for their second swim, and who's going to win? Well, who cares? These are going to come out lovely, crisp, golden, fluffy inside. Be back in 5 minutes and they'll be perfect. And whilst that's there, obviously, what's gammon and egg and chips without some peas? Beautiful. There we go. Excuse me. A generous helping of the gammon. One. 2 pineapple. On top of that, we're going to do 2 eggs. Now I've already cooked a couple for the kids, so the oil isn't dirty, it's just what's remaining from the egg previously. So, 1. 2. 3. One side. Oh, there we go. One. Two. Woo! And now we're done. What we have here is some beautiful homemade, not peas, homemade honey and mustard gammon, fried eggs, pineapple, some of my own recipe triple cooked chips, and of course a splodge of, I say a splodge, oh, vinegar. Absolutely delightful that. Obviously, again, if you're one of the 9% that don't watch my content, please do subscribe, hit me a comment below. What's on your plates? As usual, don't forget, wherever or whenever you are viewing this video, please give it a thumbs up, share and subscribe. Click the links to the right to see some more of my beautiful, delicious recipes. Give that notification bell a ring to be informed of future content. And last but not least, comment below what's on your plates.